So when we started out Supply Compass, we understood some of the challenges that brands face in bringing product to market, but we knew that there's another side to this equation. And so we moved to India and spent 2 years living, visiting, speaking to hundreds of different manufacturers and suppliers to understand where the challenges lay in what is inherently an incredibly collaborative process bringing a product to market. It involves so many different individuals from so many different organizations working together from start of the inception of a style right through to the delivery into a warehouse and beyond. And what we understood from this process is that these two parties who so avidly want to work well together weren't actually understanding each other's problems, challenges and needs in the right way. We understood to solve brands' problems, you had to solve the factories at the same time, because if you solve both sides' problems, there's actually value added for both. And I think that what typically has happened is with software is that often people solve problems for one side and it's at the detriment to the other. And so really what we wanted to understand in speaking to all these factories is how could we solve both sides' problems with the same system? Because then it's kind of that creating new value which you get through a shared system. We would say, like, what are your biggest challenges? And they would say, no one's ever asked us what our biggest challenges are. They would say, like, we just do what the brand wants. And we thought, well, how can this industry move forward if one side of this equation is just doing what the other side wants? Because that's not true collaboration and you can't progress things like that. And so we sat and we looked at the processes of how they were working with those brands. We looked through thousands of different tech packs in all these different factories. We sat for days and watched how they work, and we just saw this process where they were constantly chasing, trying to keep up with all these constant stream of emails. So we kind of saw this really inefficient process where, you know, they would get hundreds of emails each day from one brand. Times that by 20, you've got a hell of a lot of emails that these factories have to be responding to. And then the brands would be frustrated because they weren't getting the detail and they were chasing and chasing. All of the brands we've spoken to, the number one thing that they say to us is we just want to know what's going on. We want full visibility. So often the immediate response or the immediate objection from brands when we speak to them about our platform is they say, yeah, but my manufacturer won't use it. And we just say back to them, have you ever asked them if they want to use a shared system? Have you ever asked them if they like your ways of working? We know that getting multiple organisations to adopt the same system comes with some barriers, but we've thought about that. And we've built our entire product and team and onboarding process around that. So we have a tailored onboarding journey for the brand and for the manufacturer. So when people say to us, it's not going to work for my manufacturers, I just think, give it a go. Why not give it a go?